Hey, Minel, I have a question. Have you ever been to somewhere called Celiana or Astera? Have you ever heard of something called augmenting? No? It's just this Qurios Weapon crafting thing. Maybe I'm being silly. Forget about it. I'm sure no one cares. Hello, my fellow Sunbreak hunters! How are you doing? How are you enjoying this title update? Or is it title upgrade? Am I right? I'm right. I'm right. In any case, today we're going to talk about Qurios crafting, or at least more specifically, Qurios Weapon crafting. The different augments available to you, what each one of them does, and most importantly, which one is the right one for you to choose, and in what combination, depending on what build you're actually working with, so everything is nice and easy for you. First and foremost, actually unlocking all 5 slots. You start with 3, which is nice, but considering the Rampage slot upgrade requires 4 of your 5 slots, well, you certainly want to be at least unlocking that 4th one, but obviously you want all 5. So to unlock slot 1, we are after a little bit of afflicted dragon blood, which comes from sort of mid-tier-ish anomaly investigations from a lot of monsters as you grind your anomaly research. This one you will come across quite quickly and is fairly just kinda fine. Shell, we already know about. The next slot then is unlocked by something, well, a little bit later down the line. Essentially, you're unlocking this slot by your afflicted 5, your A5 anomaly 5-star monsters, either from getting them in investigation past 51, or from their dedicated quests once you unlock them. And how to unlock them, and that whole process will be coming to you very soon, but for now, that's how you get your full 5 slots to work with. So how does each one work? Well, attack is fairly simple. It takes up 2 out of the 5, and it gives plus 5 true raw. You can take it up to rank 2, which gives plus 10 true raw, and takes up 4 out of the 5. Affinity takes up 3 slots and gives you plus 5%. Sharpness also takes up 3 slots and gives you plus 10, which basically you just look at as 1 rank of handicraft. 10 extra hits, it can push you into the next level of sharpness if you're that close, and is, yeah, just 1 level of handicraft. Then we have element, which only takes up 1 slot per, can go to level 3, and all 3 levels are plus 5 for a total of plus 15. Element wins here. Getting an extra 15 element in an element build for free is absolutely fantastic, and one of the biggest power spikes you can get from this new system. The others will catch up once, presumably in future title updates, we get more slots to work with, but for now, yeah, element's looking good. Status, there is only 1 rank of it for plus 6, and it takes up also 2 slots. Then we finally have the Rampage slot upgrade, which takes up all 4. It takes a 1 to a 2 or a 2 to a 3, and that's it done. Obviously, if the weapon doesn't have element, you can't do the element. If a weapon doesn't have status, you can't do the status. And if a weapon already has a level 3 Rampage slot, you can't do the Rampage. So that's kind of how they all work. And it is kind of awkward. If you're not an element build and you upgrade the Rampage slot, then your final slot will be forever empty until the next update, which doesn't feel great. But basically, I have for you then a little priority list order that you can follow no matter what your build is, so you know what you should be putting on your weapons at all times. And it looks a little something like this. Priority number 1 is to make your Rampage slot at least level 2 if you're a raw build, or level 3 if you're an element build, so you can fit Elembane Rampage decoration, which is a huge increase. The second one, if you are an element build, max your element. That is important. So obviously if you've had to use the Rampage, well then use that final slot for at least 1 rank of element. Then Sharpness. If your weapon isn't already got a comfy amount of Sharpness, well then whack a Sharpness on. Using it here is much easier than finding either handicraft on armor or wasting a decoration slot on it, so that's quite nice. Then if you are a build that cares about affinity and you are over 50% affinity with 3 crit boost, Affinity, that 5%, will do the most for you. If you're not, attack will do more, which is why attack is now here. And then finally, status is left over, as you don't really need that extra little bit of status if you're in a status build, as you will be proccing status plenty, and it just will only get you to the thresholds quicker and stop the statuses from happening. So, to put this kind of in practice, let me take her weapon and do it according to a greatsword build. So, the Rampage slot is already level 2, so I don't care about that. I am not an element build, so just about it having element, I don't care about that. 20 hits of purple sharpness is plenty for a strong arm stance greatsword playstyle, so I don't care about that. However, I do want affinity. I am at 90% affinity with 3 boosts, so an extra 5% is lovely, so I acquire that. And then, left over with my final 2 slots, I put in that plus 5 attack, so there we have it. Plus 5% affinity and 5 attack is what this has given me, and I mean... Oh my god! Yeah, it feels a little bit underwhelming at this stage, but hey, it's augmenting and the system only has room to grow, and I'm not complaining about 3 little bumps to the overall performance of our builds and our weapons, okay? The neat thing is, however, that once you have unlocked a augment for the weapon and a rank of it, you can equip it and unequip it as much as you want. It's just there forever. For that particular weapon, you have unlocked that particular upgrade, and that's really cool. So you can mix and match, swap between. You don't have to keep replacing it and farming more materials and replacing it, so it doesn't feel like a waste if you want to swap around and try something else and then ultimately decide to go back to what you had before, which is a really nice little bit of quality of life to it. Now, I will say, this whole system costs a lot of afflicted monster parts. You will be getting a lot of afflicted monster parts as you grind up to 80 and beyond through the new research system, but I would definitely choose carefully at least the first couple while you're still finding your footing. This is quite the fun system, and there is definitely no rush in getting everything augmented, because while it is nice, it's not going to make or break. Unless you're an element build, then get the plus 15 element, because again, that is ridiculous. That's the same amount of chain crit, just permanently all the time, and chain crit is arguably the single, second, or at worst, third best skill for an element build. So again, what the hell element? What the hellement? I feel better now. Alright then, guys, that's kind of pretty much all there is to say about this, and I suppose what's left is to ask how you like it. I'm all for it. I like that it's not RNG, I like that it lets you do little tweaks, I like that it makes 1 slot rampage weapons no longer completely useless. They're still not going to be better than ones that already had a 2 slot, but they are at least now, you know, usable, which is definitely an improvement, and again, undoubtedly we will get more slots to play with as the titled updates roll out, which will provide even more and more customization and unlock more and more weapons to be actually good. So yeah, I am quite chuffed. I like that we have a non-RNG weapon system, and then a kind of fun roll that dice armor system that's not too crazy, though it can get quite crazy. Well, we'll have a few videos on that, so stay tuned on that front. In any case, I hope that has cleared up any confusion you might have over what's best to use, and until we meet again, consider supporting the future of this channel on Patreon down below. Like you've enjoyed it, subscribe and hit the bell for more Sunbreak title update goodness, and, well, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.